Hello, everyone. This is Pamperchew. And so, a lot of you guys have been saying, I'm not eating enough food or I'm not eating healthy enough. Well, let's start with the first part. I'm not eating enough food. Does that look like I'm not eating enough food? Look at that. That's my fat reserve right there. That's my helium reserve, my oil reserve. So, I can go 4 days without eating, fasting, and I don't feel hungry, and I'm super happy to have a nice. So like after 4 days of not eating, your body tells you, you better eat some damn tomatoes. You better eat some this, some of that. I need some sugar. Sometimes I feel like I need a Sour Patch Kids or a tomato, like a whole tomato. But so one person said, I'm eating Taco Bell every day, and they're like, well, Taco Bell isn't healthy for you. What's not healthy about Taco Bell? Let's break it down here. A bean burrito, for example. What is it made of? Well, the shell is made of flour. That's a grain. You gotta have grains. And the beans, well, that's a vegetable, isn't it? Beans are a vegetable. It's mixed with lard. That's the fat. That's the mix your vegetables with some fat. And there's onions in there. Well, that's another vegetable, isn't it? And a little bit of hot sauce. But right there, that's a vegetarian meal. So, I don't mean to brag about it, because I'm not a vegetarian at all. But a bean burrito, that's pretty damn healthy for you. It has your calories, your fats, your grains, your vegetables. Okay, what about a taco? It's about the same goddamn thing, except instead of beans, you have some meat. And Taco Bell, if you're not old enough to remember, Taco Bell meat is 88% beef. Now, what does that mean? Well, what do you think it means? 88% beef. Well, 12% has to be 12% of something else, right? Well, here, I'll tell you. Water, seasoning, and some other fats, maybe? Probably not. But water and seasoning. So, you got to mix water with beef to make it juicy like that. So, and in 2008, they did 2009, they did a special because people were complaining about the Taco Bell beef is 88% beef. Well, they're like, yeah, you retards. The rest is water and seasoning. What the fuck do you think it's made of? And they gave out Crunchwrap Supremes for 88 cents. 88 cents because it's 88% beef. So that was their field day back then. So what if I eat Taco Bell every day for lunch? I get on some Taco Bell streaks and I'll have it 2 weeks in a row. I usually get a bean burrito. I like the little cup of nacho cheese so I can pinky up, sip it. But what do I eat at home? So when I'm not going out to eat, what do I eat at home? And today we went grocery shopping. So should I start with the freezer or the fridge? Well, this one's already in my hand, so we'll start with the freezer. What do I eat? Well, I like chicken nuggets, so I get the fun dino nuggets. You can spell your name, but yeah, I deep fry those. You think that's gonna make me fat? Well, you know what? This is made of corn, okay? This is another vegetable. And I'm not drinking it out of the bottle, you know that, right? You're just heating it up and frying it. There's just a little bit of that you eat. But this is healthy, and you can drink this all day long, as long as you're not some asshole that orders $20 worth of tacos and eats them all in one sitting. It's fine. Yes, I have had that experience. Like, I took my fat friend to Taco Bell with his fat wife. And it came up to $38. I'm used to spending $4. It came up to $38. What did they order? Well, they both got 8 tacos each. 2 burritos each. Holy crap, you guys, you're eating too much food. So that's where it can get, you know, that's where it can be unhealthy. You're just eating too much food. This is like, okay, we just spent $300 in food. That'll last us 2 months. So I get these things. I like to deep fry them. Hey, I tried air frying. Air frying is the same fucking thing as putting it in the oven, except you have air blowing over it. It's not going to taste good. It's going to taste like crap. So put a little oil in some pan. Bring it up to 400 or 350, whatever the box says to bring it up to. You don't need that much oil in a pan, okay? Doesn't matter what size of pan, but you need a little deep. You need to be a little deep for deep frying. And this is the oil you use. This stuff. Crisco or whatever. Yeah, Crisco. You can use lard. You can use duck fat if you want to be fancy from Tallahassee. But what else we got in here? You know, this is all stuff you deep fry. You deep fry it at home. It's cheap. Just more vegetables and meat. So, and sometimes, you know, for breakfast, I like one of these things. I dip it in half and half. That's right, you heard me correct. Half and half. Oh, and then, you know, that's for 2 people. That'll feed two or 3 people. And that'll feed 2 people on its own. One of them. So, I'm a hungry man, but I'm a hungry boy, and I can't finish one of those things. I have to share it with my friend. Because it comes with 2, not just 1, but 2 chicken breasts. They're about that big. I'll eat the mashed potatoes, I'll eat the corn, and I'll eat one of the chickens. And then I'll let my partner have one of the chickens and the, you know, the brownie. Because I hate the brownie. I hate dessert. So down here, I have to get on my knees now. So what do I have? Yes, I buy some soda. This 2-liter will last me a month and a half. I don't drink soda that much. But we went shopping today, so you see a plethora of options. I drink half and half. Not 2%, I drink half and half. Here's a Coca-Cola I grabbed at the gas station, but you know, that'll last me. No, I love pickled peppers, and I have 2 different kinds. I have, well, 3 actually. One of them was sitting out on the counter because I was eating it. So my bread got squished today. Unfortunately, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad when I pulled it out of the bag. It's starting to fluff back up. I don't care if it's squished. It'll start to fluff back up. You know, you squish bread. It's accidental. You know, he's just bagging groceries. He's 16 years old and he's bagging groceries. So, you know, I don't complain about that. I don't care if my bread's squished. You just pull out the piece and you squish it flat, and it's good to go. So, you know, different bread products. I like English bagels. This is Swiss cheese for like making turkey and cheese kind of thing. Now down here we have my tortillas. I love tortillas. I love beans, rice, tortillas. Mexican food. Well, I live in the northwest of America, and Mexican food, right on, is great. So over here we have some fancy pickles that come in a plastic jug. But look at all that garlic in there, and that dill. Right on. So, let me put these back in the freezer. Sometimes it doesn't fit. Sometimes you just have to shove it in there with some force, and it's all good to go. What did I get in the cupboards? Oh, well, I bought a bottle of, this is premium, top shelf, cherry hot peppers. They're cherry, top shelf, primo. It's choice. No, actually, I just bought a $2 bottle of hot peppers and I took the label off. Yeah, but you wouldn't have known. It said organic, blah, 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 from Kmart or from wherever I went shopping. I peeled the labels off, keep that on the shelf, and just, you know, that's the top shelf. See? That's bottom shelf, that's top shelf. So now, it's top shelf. And if you really, really want to make it top shelf, it seems expensive, you put it up there. Like, yeah, it cost me $50 a can, man. Want to try some? Want to try some, man? No. This is the shelf it goes on. Top shelf. And speaking of peppers, let me dig into my... So look, Trinidad Scorpions, like I told you guys, I eat this stuff every day. Trinidad Scorpions, I keep it in the deep freezer until I can grind it up and make it into a dried pepper. Because these fruits, you cut them open and they mold in like 3 days. So you gotta be really careful with them. They're quite expensive. But there's Carolina Reapers. There's this one, Trinidad Scorpions. So I should correct myself. So I said it comes from American farmers. So yeah, Carolina Reapers came from Carolina. I think that's a state. Carolina, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut. No, Carolina must be a city. So get that in there. Oh, I did it wrong. It's like it's not like Tetris. It's more like a chips challenge. There you go. So back to the cupboard. What else did I get? Oh, so I got some gelatin. This is not Jello. This is gelatin. This is just the gelatin product. Now, you take 2 of these and you grab some orange juice and you mix it with this and you make a very healthy gelatin orange snack. It's not the same as Jello. It doesn't have sugar in it. It's just orange juice, which has its own sugars, but besides that, orange juice and gelatin. And it's very good for your nails. Gelatin is good for your nails. Do you know where gelatin came from in the 1900s? Or 1900? Where did it come from in 1900? It came from horse hooves. Cloppity clop. Look at my hooves. Cloppity clop. Over here, got some older stuff. Chili. Dinty Moore beef stew. You know, all the American treats. Swiss Miss. This isn't mine. It's like chocolate. Hot chocolate that you make when you're like, oh, we've been camping and we ran out of food. Oh, I have a chocolate bar in my backpack. Like the 90s sitcoms. I have a chocolate bar in my backpack. Let's make some hot chocolate. That's what this shit is. It's disgusting. Well, it's not so bad if you mix it with cold milk. But I digress. So this is my parents' refrigerator. And we got condiments galore. But you know what? You know what's missing? Ketchup. We don't have one goddamn bottle of ketchup. The only ketchup we have in here is Burger King ketchup. Taste the king. I don't know what they say. Oh, there's my bottle of whole milk. So that should go in the other fridge. Like I said, I drink half and half. I mix it with whole. It's half and half and half and half. Half and half and half and half, 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 1/3. So, I continue. I picked up some Smackums kosher dills, and you know what? That's another vegetable. It has a lot of salt in it, but I need my salt. I drink a lot of water. You know that, right? I work for the Water Bureau. just for a moment. Beans. We got tomato sauce. So these are all the things we cook at home. Like, I'll go out to have lunch at Taco Bell. Have you ever seen the movie Demolition Man? And she's like, or he's like, I'd like you to accompany me to Taco Bell. And like, green beans from the garden, garden from the valley, valley of the jolly green giant. Toot toot. Yeah, you gotta see that movie if you haven't seen it. Demolition Man. Because in 2010, Taco Bell won the franchise wars. Now every restaurant's a Taco Bell. In the later part of the movie, it takes place in 2032. And we're at 2021, so it's not just far off. But you know what? There are so many things in that movie that are becoming more and more relevant to actual today. Like, their imagination of the future. Besides the set, they're pretty spot on. Like, self-driving cars. And now every restaurant's a Taco Bell, so your self-driving car might drive you to the fancy Taco Bell because you have more money than someone else. Your car knows how much money you make. They'll take you to the fancy Taco Bell with the singer. And, you know, at their Taco Bell, you have a plate, and you have one chip, and there's like a little guacamole, a little sour cream, and a little something here. And he goes, "Where's the salt?" You know, salt's illegal. You can't have any salt. So, Sylvester Stallone. That's one of my favorite movies when I grew up as a kid. So, but hey, I eat healthy. I sure hope you eat healthy. But quit bitching about being about gaining weight. I'm already like 175 pounds. How much fatter do you want me to be? I mean, I still gotta fit in my baby diapers for sweeps weeks. Whatever it's called. You know what? You might not believe this, but when I was 10 years old, I was a model. Oh, I'll let the plane go by. Yeah. I was a model for ABC Kids and Teens. My modeling agency was ABC Model and Talent. This was a long time ago. We never pursued it after I did the classes. I mean, I had school and stuff, but hey, I did runway. I modeled some clothes. Next step would have been like Gap Kids, you know, like the commercials for the Gap Kids. Modeling some of that stuff, but I had long hair and I wasn't willing to cut off my hair. I had long hair. I had a mullet. I wasn't willing to cut my hair, and this was like 1998. No, if you're gonna model for us, you gotta cut your hair. And I said, nope, I don't think that's for me. Then we just stopped doing it. But no, I got runway skills. I got etiquette. I studied etiquette when I was a kid. That's why I can be so fancy sometimes, especially in person, like at a fur convention. I always conduct myself very well. That's why you'll never hear about me doing something silly in public. No. I got etiquette skills. I know which fork is used for which. And if you have too many forks, ask for a creamer. You can hold the creamer and stab the fork in the creamer and make your eye come out, you know? Well, some of these fancy dinners are just a little too fancy for me, and you have to let yourself out without looking like an idiot. It's too much for me. I popped out. Let me go out. That's just a joke. I haven't done that, but that's just a thought that went through my head. If I gotta leave, no. But I'll tell you one time, I was at BLFC, that's a fur convention. My grandma took me to this fancy steak dinner. I wanted steak next door at the little quieter, not so fancy restaurant. They used to have steak the year before. They didn't have steak this year, so we said, fine, we'll go next door and get the steak at the steakhouse. And we're talking $200 steaks. $50 mushrooms and blue cheese. It was just, and the waiter, he was overwhelming me auditorily. He's like, "Oh, how you doing?" He's like, and Lexi was there with me. Grandma was there with me. I think Sean and me, I was there. Grandma got the same steak I did. I want it well done, butterflied, blah, blah, blah. But when the steak came, it looked delicious. They brought me some steak sauce. 3 different types. And the mushrooms were on the side, and the blue cheese was on the side. And I was expecting the mushrooms and blue cheese to be slapped right on my steak. That's just what I'm used to for having a steak, I go to Stanford's, I get a steak, I ask for mushrooms and blue cheese, they put it right on the steak, green beans, mashed potatoes. No, this place, they kept it separate. The steak was perfect. Well, it was not, well, so when you get so fancy at a restaurant, it's kind of hard to ask, could you cook that a little more? There's still a little pink inside. Now, I can't eat raw meat. It has to be brown. I don't need it black. I just need it cooked all the way through. So I'm embarrassed. I can't ask for it to be cooked again because, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I probably could ask. It's $200 steak. Why not? Why the fuck not? But no, I was trying to be polite. The steak sauce came out. I tried each one. But all I wanted was a bottle of A1 sauce. I would like my steak brown throughout and an A1 sauce. Do you have that? So, it was my first time too, at like a $200 steak restaurant. So, this is what I did. I ate half the steak. I tried all of it. Ate the mushrooms, ate the blue cheese. I ate half the steak and I excused myself from the table. I said, I'd like to go have a smoke. This was in Reno, Nevada. So I was outside the restaurant in the casino having a smoke. I let the family finish. The waiter was so surprised. He's like, what happened? Why did you leave? I don't know what they said. But he's like, well, he gave us a whole tray of cookies, like a baker's dozen of cookies. Now, Lexi, I just met the boy. He was still 17. He got the vegetarian. He said, I'm not a meat eater. We're at a steakhouse. They make them the most beautiful bell peppers filled with vegetarian fillings. And what he did, he mixes his food up. He like scrambles it all up into one pile and starts eating it. And he's like, is there something wrong? And he goes, no, this is just how I eat. And I just met the guy. So, and as you know, he's my great friend now. He's my next door neighbor at Steve's. And, well, he's moving to Canada. He found a boyfriend in Canada. He's moving to Canada. But, yeah, he's still next door to Steve's house. In Steve's house. Like, Steve owns 3 houses. And he has the most beautiful feet ever. Anyway, I digress. Back to the steakhouse. So, he had a delicious vegetarian dinner at the steakhouse. Grandma, she was good. Sean, he was good. But I left my table. I went up to the room. And I said, I'm sorry guys, I just can't finish it. Because it was pink in the center. I'm not one who goes, no, you take it back. If the salad comes on top, you take it back. If the bread is burnt, you take it back. No, I'm not like that at all. Very passive when I eat. If that's what the chef intended for me to have, I will eat it. And in this case, it was just a little bit too fancy. My first experience, I understand now, I could probably be like, no, I need this cooked throughout, and could I have some A1 sauce? And they go, well, maybe we don't have that. And I could say, well, the place next door has a bottle. Do you think you can go grab some? But no, I'm not. So that's my fine dining experience. I've been to a lot of fine dining, but this was just twice as much as I'm expecting. So I'd be very polite. I excused myself, had a smoke, and I said, I can't go back in there. I'm embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed to like box up my food, and because those places you don't. Some people, they go there. This is a fancy place, you know. You don't go there to have half your food and box it up. It's not one of those places. People that are gambling and they make $10,000 and they come have a steak, or they just have money. Well, this isn't. If you've ever been to Reno is a shithole. Okay, I love Reno. I've been going there since I was 14, like many times. But Reno's gone downhill. And although I still love Reno, there's nobody playing the slots. And whoever is playing the slots, there's guys ask me, hey, want to buy some meth? Hey, you want some weed? Sketchy as hell. I'm like, yeah, I want some meth, but I'm not going to give you the money first. Bring me the baggie and then I'll buy some. And they're like, no, I can't do that. Like, so, fuck that. I don't know. Hanging out at a casino at BLF